out of 10 seals fail due to either mechanical or operational issues. There are, 2 in 10 that fail due to improper selection of seal faces, piping plans, etc. So if we concentrate on that 8 out of 10, when we go through a seal installation, the best thing to do is first of all do a mechanical check on your pump. We want to make sure things like the bearings are good. Replace the bearings if you take the pump apart. It's a very inexpensive thing to do to prevent an installation going bad. We want to make sure our shaft is straight. Do a runout check. Most mechanical seals want to be in that 1 to 2 thousandth deflection area. Next thing we want to take a look at is the seal chamber or stuffing box area. Do we have grooves or wear or a surface that is not flat enough to seal a gasket against? Those are some of the types of things we want to look at for the pump. Any of those things will cause shaft deflection and which will result in seal failure. The next thing we want to take a look at is alignment. Sometimes an overlooked area, but misalignment certainly caused many seals to fail. That's simply a check between the output shaft of your pump and the output shaft of your drive mechanism, whether that be a motor or gear reducer, etc. Another overlooked item on a centrifugal pump would be your impeller. As a rule, every impeller that comes through the building is balanced, and an unbalanced impeller could put excessive loads on the shaft, which would again come back to premature seal failure. So it's really a good thing to make sure your impeller is balanced. If you don't have the equipment on site, there are certainly many places, including Geiger, that can balance your impeller. Now that we've covered some of the mechanical issues, let's talk about some operational issues. The most common cause of seal failure is dry run conditions. It's a common occurrence in the field. Some seals are more susceptible to failure under run dry conditions. We can talk about some of the other seals out there that can handle that a little bit better. But run dry can occur a couple of ways. It can occur basically your supply tank just ran out of liquid. It could occur if somebody shut the suction valve off. It could occur if you had a blockage in your line coming to the pump. Other things that could cause a run dry like condition would be vaporization of liquid. Someone shuts the discharge valve and the pump is running at quote deadhead. The liquid's going to heat up in the pump and also cause seal failure. Is the pump operating on the best part of the performance curve? Again, this would require some consult with the pump supplier, and Geiger certainly willing to work with you to get the proper size impeller, pump size, so that we properly select the pump. Many times pumps get oversized at the specification stage, and when they actually get put in service, instead of operating at a best efficiency point on the curve, they may be operating closer to a run-out condition or even possibly closer to min flow conditions. So those are all things that we can check for you during the troubleshooting stage. The last thing we can do is have the proper piping plan. Mostly all seals will have some type of piping plan associated with it. The piping plans are designed to provide a clean, cool environment for the mechanical seal and the seal chamber. There are many variations of piping plans on the market. This is a compact booklet which gives you piping plans for anything from a single seal, double seal, pressurized, non-pressurized, gas barrier seal. The piping plans and the life of your mechanical seal because it will provide a cool, clean environment for the seal to operate. Selection of the correct piping plan, again, in consult with the pump supplier, Geiger, we can certainly direct you toward the right piping plan. Also, there are maintenance checks on piping plans, depending on what type of equipment you have in there, whether it be a strainer, an orifice plate, tubing coming from suction or discharge of the pump, and then more complex systems like reservoirs for double seals and gas seals. There are upset conditions that can occur in the piping plan itself, i.e. clogged strainers, things of that nature that will affect the life of your seal. You can find this guide to piping plans on our website. In this segment, we're going to talk about what can we do if we have a bad actor. A bad actor would be a seal that you're seeing continuous seal failures. How do we address that? What can we do to improve it? Are there things we can do to change it to increase that mean time between failure? And the answer is yes. What we will typically do is when we approach those bad actors, we will have a failure analysis performed on it. The failure analysis can be as simple as performing that on the bench with the guys that are taking the pump apart, or reliability engineers, reliability or maintenance people, simply disassembling the seal, taking a look at what the internals look like. Many times, just doing that will expose some of the issues. Things like O-rings were attacked, maybe the O-ring swelled, maybe the O-ring's nicked, maybe the O-ring's not there. Going further into it, you can take a look at the seal faces and see chips or nicks or wear patterns that would suggest you're either running dry or you're pumping some abrasive through there or something of that nature. You can also see things like uneven wear tracks, which would lead back to misalignment or non-perpendicularity between the seal and the stuffing box. So those things are very visual that we all can look at and say, oh, okay, let's change it, let's do this. Sometimes when you take the seal apart, there's really not something evident to the naked eye, and it requires a more in-depth failure analysis. With us and John Crane, we have a service center in Swedesboro, New Jersey, where all the seals are evaluated. And from that evaluation, you'll get a detailed service report with pictures, recommendations, conclusions, and from that, we can say, oh, maybe we need to upgrade the seal faces, or maybe we need to upgrade the O-rings, or maybe the material on the seal needs to be changed to a higher alloy, or maybe we need to change the whole seal design. Or we can go back and look at changing the piping plan. There are many things that you can do in order to increase seal life. Most seals today have repair programs associated with them through the distributor and the manufacturer. Those repair programs allow you to not just throw your seal away when it fails, but return the seal to the distributor, and a repair quote can be issued from there. Generally, the repair quotes are about 40 to 50% less than what a new seal would cost. And so there's a savings there. In order to get started in that repair program, you obviously have to have a backup seal ready to go in. And then once you've done that, the seal can be turned around, and when it comes back, it'll be in as new condition. Seals, like all commodities these days, are experiencing extended lead time. A repair seal gives us an opportunity to turn that turn that seal around in about half the time generally. And in some cases, if all the components are available and the need is there, the seal can be turned around in a day or two.